The ceiling lights slid past me like cold stars, each one buzzing, each one too bright. My wrists were strapped. My mouth tasted like metal. The gurney rattled as we turned a corner. And that's when my phone vibrated against my palm. I shouldn't have checked it. I did. Your sister needs you to walk her dog this week. The orderly asked me to confirm my name. I stared at the message until the words warped. I'm literally being wheeled into an OR. I typed with a thumb that felt half numb. The reply came before the anesthesiologist finished adjusting the IV. Don't be selfish. The word selfish echoed louder than the machines. Louder than the squeak of rubber soles. Louder than the fear pressing against my ribs. I felt something inside me go very still. They stopped the gurney outside the operating room. Blue doors, red line on the floor. I said nothing else. I opened my laptop, and I erased my name. This wasn't new. It just finally happened where there were witnesses. I'd been the quiet solution for as long as I could remember. The extra credit card. The emergency call. The backup plan disguised as a sibling. I learned early that love in my family came with invoices. Some paid in money, others in silence. My sister learned something else. If she waited long enough, someone would clean it up. Tuition was just another mess. She cried once, years ago, about how overwhelmed she was. About loans. About pressure. I transferred the first payment before she finished her sentence. It felt noble back then, responsible. Necessary. No one thanked me. They just adjusted their expectations. My mother became the scheduler. The enforcer. She spoke in obligations instead of affection. She never asked if I could help. She told me who needed me. The dog was never about the dog. Pressure always arrived disguised as normalcy. It built in the small things. Missed calls. Assumptions. Conversations where my life was a logistical inconvenience. When I tried to set boundaries, they called it drama. When I got tired, they called it selfishness. The day before the surgery, my mother reminded me to check on my sister's rent. I was doubled over in pain. Timing my breaths, nodding so she'd stop talking. That's the trick. If you nod long enough, people mistake it for consent. The moment that broke it wasn't the text. It was the certainty behind it. She knew where I was. She knew what was happening. And she still believed my purpose was to be useful. On that gurney, something sharpened. Pain has a way of clarifying priorities. I logged into the account, scrolled past transactions that represented years of compliance. Found my name, clean and official, tied neatly to her future. One click to edit. One pause. I thought about all the times I said yes when I meant. All the quiet resentment I folded into politeness. All the ways I'd been generous because I didn't want to be cruel. Then I hit save. The surgery went fine, they always say that. I woke up sore, foggy. Lighter in ways the incision couldn't explain. My phone was face down on the tray. I didn't touch it until morning. 4 missed calls. Voicemails stacked like threats. Like apologies. Like confusion masquerading as concern. I listened to one. Why didn't you tell me? My sister demanded, voice sharp with panic. As if the problem was communication. As if silence hadn't been the loudest language in our family for years. I didn't call back. The confrontation came 2 days later. Hospital discharge papers still warm. Stitches pulling when I sat down. They didn't ask how I was healing. They asked what I'd done. My mother spoke first. Controlled and furious. This was cruel. I met her eyes and said nothing. Real tears this time. She accused me of sabotage, of betrayal. Of trying to punish her for needing help. I let the silence stretch. Let them sit in it. I didn't punish you. I said finally. I stopped protecting you. That was when the room shifted. When they realized the rules had changed. They tried bargaining next, promises. Guilt, family history weaponized like nostalgia. You're all she has. My mother said no. I replied. She has what she built. The truth landed hard because it was new. Because it wasn't softened by apology. For the first time, they saw me not as a resource, but as a variable they hadn't accounted for. Fear looks a lot like anger when it doesn't get its way. The fallout was immediate. My sister had to talk to financial aid. To lenders, to reality. My mother stopped texting daily. Then weekly. Then at all. Extended family called. Confused, choosing sides based on proximity to the lie. I didn't defend myself. I didn't explain. I let the absence of my money speak for me. I healed slowly. Deliberately. Every step felt earned. Months later, my sister showed up unannounced. She looked older, quieter, less certain the world would bend for her. I didn't know. she said. I know. I replied. That was the closest we got to forgiveness, it was enough. I don't regret the timing. I regret how long it took me to believe that boundaries don't require permission. Revenge doesn't always look like fire. Sometimes it's just the quiet removal of support. Sometimes justice is letting people meet the consequences you've been absorbing for them. That night on the gurney, I wasn't being wheeled into surgery. I was being wheeled out of a role I never agreed to play. And I walked away without looking back,